The daughter was ridiculed at school and returned home. The daughter said, "Father, I always get ridiculed for what I do." The father said to his daughter, "If you gain weight, people will say you eat too much. If you lose weight, people will say you are sick. If you dress well, they will think you are showing off. If you dress simply, they will think you are poor. When you are serious, it is boring to them. If you are humorous, you are considered immature. If you are outspoken, that is being rude. If you are single, others think you are lonely. If you are successful, you will be said to be arrogant. If you are still struggling, you are considered lazy. You are honest, people think you are naive. If you are not honest, people think you are not worthy of being trusted. No matter what you do, there will always be someone pointing fingers, so do what you think is right in your heart." At the age of over 60, I witnessed an unforgettable scene. A son taking his elderly father to a restaurant for lunch. The father, weak and frail, accidentally spilled food on his pants and clothes while eating, and other customers looked at him with disgust. However, his son remained calm. After the meal, the son, without feeling embarrassed at all, quietly took his father to the restroom to clean up the food residue, wash away the stains, comb his hair, and help him put on his hat. When they came out, the whole restaurant fell silent as everyone stared at them, unable to understand how someone could publicly embarrass themselves like that. The son calmly settled the bill at the front desk and prepared to leave with his father. At that moment, I stopped the young man and asked him, "Don't you think you left something behind?" The son replied, "No, sir," I retorted. "Yes, you did. You left a lesson for every son and an expectation for every father." The restaurant became even quieter. I often tell my children this story. Caring for those who have cared for us is one of the highest honors. We all know how our parents have cared for every little thing about us, and we should also show our love and respect for our parents through our actions. A cheerful lady works as a chef in a large hotel. One day after finishing her scheduled work, she went into the cold storage room to check on some ingredients needed for the next day. Unfortunately, the door closed behind her, locking her inside. She was in a panic, screaming and banging on the door with all her strength, but no one could hear her cries. Most of the staff had already left, and from outside, it was impossible to hear the sounds coming from the sealed room. 3 hours later, when she was on the brink of passing out, the hotel security finally opened the door. That day, she miraculously escaped death. Later, she asked the security guard how he came to open the door, as it was not part of his daily duties. The guard explained, "I have been working at this hotel for 20 years and hundreds of staff come in and out every day. You are one of the few who greets me in the morning and says goodbye to me at night. Many people treat me like I'm invisible. But today, when you reported for work, you greeted me as usual with a hello. But this evening when you left, I noticed that I didn't hear your usual goodbye, see you tomorrow." That's when I sensed something was wrong and decided to check around the factory. I always look forward to your hi and goodbye because they remind me that I'm not invisible, but an important person. Not hearing your farewell today made me feel like something was off, and that's how I was able to rescue you in time. We should cherish everyone we meet, as they may be the ones to help and support us when we need it most. A girl went to her boss and said, "I don't plan to continue working." The boss asked in surprise, "Can you tell me the reason?" Girl back, "I see too many people slacking off at work, eating, chatting, and even sleeping all the time." The boss fell silent and then said, "Before you make a decision, can you do something for me?" She nodded and said, "Of course, what?" The boss gave her a shower head and said, "I need you to use it to water the flowers in the office once, making sure they don't fall on the petals." The girl carefully watered the flowers with a shower head and came back to say to the boss, "I'm done." The boss asked her a few questions. "Did you see anyone texting or chatting or something like that?" She replied, "I didn't see anything. I focused on watering the flowers, making sure I didn't water them." The boss said to her, "When you come to work, focus on the documents as if you were watering the flowers. This way, you won't be distracted by others. If we maintain focus and determination in pursuing our goals, we will not be easily swayed by the noise of the environment." There was a beggar walking on the street, and the little flower girl saw his pitiful condition and gave him a rose. After the beggar returned home, he casually found a dirty bottle to keep the flowers, but soon the beggar realized that such a beautiful rose could not be placed in a dirty bottle. So the beggar wiped the bottle clean and reinserted the rose, but such a beautiful rose, such a clean bottle, did not match his home at all. Soon the beggar cleaned up the house thoroughly, thinking that such a clean home and beautiful roses were not suitable for his own messy appearance. So the beggar also tidied himself up. Faced with such a clean rose, such a clean bottle, such a clean home, such a clean self, he thought about why he was a beggar again, and so the beggar found a job, becoming more and more beautiful like a rose. One afternoon, while teaching his students again, Lenin wrote on the blackboard 1, 9, 9x2s18, and he kept writing that 9x10s91. The students all laughed because Lenin made a mistake. Obviously, the correct answer for 9x10 is 90, not 91. The students began to mock him, and Lenin waited for everyone to calm down before saying, "Although I analyzed 9 problems correctly and no one congratulated me, when I made a mistake, everyone started to mock me. This means that even if someone is successful, society will notice them, and even the smallest mistake will be infinitely magnified. Therefore, we need to face our mistakes squarely, because mistakes are part of the process. As Lenin once said, the only people who do not make mistakes are those who do nothing."